Hello Sleepyheads, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Remy and I make ASMR videos. Today's video is a nice, simple update ramble. We do like those. Telling you about some of the highlights of this last week in my life. So my voice is a little croaky. I did just film a whisper ramble for about 2 hours, so I don't want to put too much pressure on myself to do a nice, even job. You can hear that I'm getting kind of raspy. So this ramble isn't going to be super polished. It's going to be very casual. So I'm going to be sipping on a drink, a nice cool one, because we're still in the middle of a heat wave here in Los Angeles. So let me tell you a little about my week, some of the highlights. So I'm having a very good week at the moment and wanted to share with you all what's going on. And while I'm sharing with you, because my voice has been going in and out, coming in and out rather, I'm going to be sipping on this matcha lemonade. It's my first ever. I got it today on the recommendation of a subscriber who thought I would enjoy it because I love matcha so much, and this is very summery. It's still summer here in Los Angeles for another month or so, maybe not technically, but in terms of our hot season, that's just the way September and even October tend to be here in Los Angeles. So thank you, Katie, so much for the suggestion. I always get such good suggestions from my subscribers. She said it's very refreshing and it has not disappointed me. That's so good. My hair is getting stuck because of all the condensation. That is so good. You all truly give me the best recommendations. I think you just have a very good sense of me already from all my rambles. So thank you for all your amazing suggestions. I really always appreciate them. Yeah, I love that. It's a nice tea taste, but very different. It's like a fun green tea twist on the Arnold Palmer, but with that extra dankness, that mossiness that I love so much about matcha in particular. Yeah, I don't know how my voice is gonna do for this video, so bear with me. I'm gonna try my best. I hate that my soft speaking fans always get the short end of the stick, but it's just harder for me. In general, soft speaking is a lot harder. Sorry, I rearranged ever so slightly. I think when it's too close during soft speaking, even if you like it better, it distracts me more. I can hear all the creaks in my voice, and then I worry too much about my vocal performance. So I think this is better for me, and hopefully it's okay for you also. So yes, this is so tasty. I'm so pleased. Oh my goodness. I'm trying not to guzzle it all down at once because I want it to last so that it can coat my throat, keep me hydrated, and keep me nice and cool for the duration of this ramble. So I am using a single-use plastic cup. That is something I wanted to leave in 2020, but so far it's been a challenge. I've reduced the plastic in my life by a lot, but still end up purchasing single-use plastic by way of things I order online that get packaged in plastic. Toiletries, most of them come in plastic bottles, not glass ones or aluminum, and takeout, you know, food, drinks. So yeah, it's still a goal of mine. I think that a lot of people are now saying that the onus shouldn't be on the individual consumer. Rather, it should be on big corporations to change how they operate. But I do think that both can be true at the same time. I do want to consume less single-use plastic and contribute less personally. So it's a moving target. It continues to be a goal, but I do have reusable cups for Starbucks. Goodness. I do have reusable cups for Starbucks. I have 2 of them for cold drinks. But due to COVID, Starbucks is not allowing reusable cups at this point. At least the ones in my area are not. That's the protocol in Los Angeles right now. I've asked about it a few times, which I totally understand. I feel like that puts Starbucks employees at risk with COVID. So yeah, I just wanted to acknowledge that this is single-use plastic, and most of the time when I'm going to Starbucks, I'm contributing to plastic waste. It is something that I hope in the long term to completely eliminate from my life. That continues to be a goal. I thought about switching over to a mason jar to model better practices, but I just felt like that would be super phony, you know? So yeah, take out, carry out tend to be areas that I generate a lot of waste and feel bad about, but they're things I really enjoy at this time, and restaurants are, trying to be especially careful with COVID. So I feel like there's more single-use packaging than ever, which is challenging because it's also a time when I want to be eating in and taking things back home more than ever. So curious what you all think. I could probably just suck it up, but I appreciate the conundrum, for restaurants and for people who are patronizing them. But yeah, something that I have on my mind, as I'm sure many of us do. Okay, so enough of the preamble. Let's get into my little update. So this week was a lot of fun. I had a really good week so far, and actually the fun continues tomorrow and into this coming week. So, I wanted to show you my earrings. I think they're a lot of fun. I actually had a really fun pair on for my last video that I just filmed before this. I was wearing these for my celebrity experiences part 3. So I did just want to show you my earrings today. They're pom-poms and 3 little tassels on each side, though it kind of clings together, forming one big tassel. They cling together, that is. So I thought they were pretty fun, and I'm holding these. Sorry, I cut away because my neighbor was having an interaction, but I realized when I was watching the footage back that my hair was covering them the entire time, so I'll have to wear them again sometime soon. I still need to do a jewelry collection show and tell. Lots to do. But yes, speaking of the celebrity experiences video, I finally filmed that. that's something really nice that happened this week, just today. I've been wanting to film that for a long time, and today I finally did it. So I think it's kind of meh, you know. I'm lukewarm on it. Looking back at the footage, I think I could have done a better job. I was kind of rushing, and sometimes when I'm really focused on what I want to share in a story, I don't think as much about how I'm speaking, telling a relaxing story, as opposed to a more interesting, climactic one, like a plot-driven story. Not that things that happen in real life are plot, but you know what I mean. A story that has a point to it, and I'm gearing up to make that point. I lose sight of my vocals pretty easily, so I was watching it back and I was like, I also feel like I did forget interesting bits and pieces of the stories themselves, but I figure, you know, you've waited long enough. I'm going to make it a priority to edit that and get it out to you, and if you have any questions, anything's unclear, I can always answer your questions in the comments. So yeah. So that's coming soon. Like I said, I'm going to make a special point to edit that right after this one. So yeah, I've been having a really nice week after having a pretty shitty couple of weeks. I mean, I was fine, but first I was having back issues. If you don't know, I was having such bad back issues for a while that, you know, at the lowest point, at the worst point, I couldn't lift my legs to put on my own pants. I couldn't sit up, you know, go from sitting to standing by myself. Couldn't get out of a car by myself. So that eventually resolved itself. And then I immediately, I think there was a little overlap even, but I immediately was sick with some nasty kind of virus. Tested negative for COVID, but it was gnarly enough that that was a concern. You know, that's the first thing that came to my mind when I started showing symptoms, especially more uncomfortable symptoms. So yes, I was feeling pretty rotten in a variety of ways for a couple weeks, and now I'm feeling much better, and the last week has been particularly good as I've been able to resume normal activities and just happened to have some pretty fun things in the works, in my plans. So I wanted to tell you quickly just about some of those. So yes, sorry for the ever-changing setup. I'm sure you can hear, but my neighbor is in some sort of trash hauling process. She had someone come over to do that, so just a little bit of background noise. And I'm starting and stopping to avoid the worst of it, but you'll still hear little bits and pieces here and there. I don't mind them talking so much, but I don't want to subject you to all the clatters as he drags things away and disposes of them in a nearby dumpster. Pretty cacophonous stuff. So yes, I'm happy to finally have my celebrity experiences video, my third video filmed. I'm gonna prioritize editing that, even though I do have 2 videos ahead of it. I do have 2 videos I've already filmed that you haven't seen. Like, it may be hard to tell sometimes what the timeline is. Maybe you think I'm referring to videos that are already out, but actually it's a new show and tell, soft spoken, and tapping on Empties with whispered over explaining, a kind of shopping role play. It's a continuation of the premise of the Remporium, you know, the ASMR general store role play that I did a few few weeks ago, so I have to edit those. But I'm going to make the celebrity experiences one my top priority and get it out to you as soon as possible. So that does mean that the timeline for these next few videos is going to be a little wonky. I'll put this one out, and then the celebrity experiences one, and then I'll go back and edit one that I filmed when I wasn't feeling so well. So I'll put that out, and it may look like I'm sick again, but I'm not. Knock on wood, you know. So we're jumping around a little bit. I hope that's okay. Sorry, my voice is so lilting, but it's really, really dry today. Despite a valiant effort on my part to stay hydrated. That's what we're gonna call my Starbucks addiction. Valiant. Healthy. So some other nice things that happened this week. I went on Thursday to a vegan street fair of sorts. It was held at a brewery and there was a DJ and lots of shady outdoor seating, which is great for me. Easy parking, again, something I really like, I look for in an event, and no cover charge. So amazing all around. And then they had an amazing selection of food, lots of different food trucks, all vegan, all gathered together for this event. So I actually went there for a date, and we got spicy garlic noodles with asparagus, cilantro, little bits of, I think, peanuts. The noodles were so saucy. And then we had a vegan version of it. It's like Hawaiian style sushi. I wish I remembered what it's called. I think that's right. I've never tried a non-vegan version. I've just never come across it as a kid, nor as a vegan as an adult really before the past few months. But I know a lot of people love it. I've also never been to the Kingdom of Hawaii, so I think that's where this style of sushi is from. You probably know what it's called, but once it comes back to me, I'll be sure to put it in the description or in the comments. But it was so good. And then from another cart I got a horchata boba. So like, wow, exactly what it sounds like, a horchata boba. I love horchata. I didn't love the boba personally. It's not something I've had more than once before, and I think I forgot that I don't care for it. I know that makes me an outlier. I just don't like the feeling of them coming up through the straw. It's not just a texture thing, it's also the experience of them shooting up the straw. I'm not into it. Hard to put my finger on why, but it was just a little off-putting for me. Yeah, I didn't like it so much. And I guess I thought that the boba would be sweeter. Maybe I wouldn't have minded the texture so much, but yeah, I guess I'm not a big tapioca person. I don't know. And I don't think I care so much for mochi, unless it's like a cold frozen mochi, like an ice cream mochi. Yeah, not really for me. but I loved the horchata. In general, the whole vegan fair was so fun. There were so many trucks that I'd want to try out their food in the future. There was just no way in hell I was going to be able to make it through more than just a couple items. You know, you get really dense, decadent, fantastic, mouth-watering food at these trucks, and you wish you could try everything, but odds are you can only try like one main, one appetizer, a dessert, maybe a drink. Maybe you can share another thing with someone, but I also knew that we were going to the movies directly afterwards, and it's really important to me to eat popcorn at the movies. So in the back of my mind, I was leaving a little bit of room for that. So yeah, I'm excited to go back and try many other dishes in the future. I especially want to try the fried chicken that I saw some people eating nearby. It was a very popular offering that night. People were excited about it because, you know, if you're like me, you love fried chicken, you know, as a food, but you don't like eating animals. So yeah, I just have a lot of nostalgia. I think it's fucking delicious. I love fried chicken, except of course I don't want to eat any animals. So I'm really excited to try vegan fried chicken. I've tried vegan wings, vegan drumsticks, even vegan tenders, like breaded and seasoned chicken, and vegan chicken sandwiches, but nothing that's like a really good dupe for a bucket of fried chicken. And that's what I saw some of the other guests, some of the other diners at this street fair enjoying. So sorry, I'm losing my voice. I'm really excited to go back and try exactly that sometime soon, and probably dozens and dozens of other delicious things. So many options. It was amazing. Vegan paradise. They also had at the street fair a kind of bazaar, like a marketplace in a warehouse that was fairly open air, fairly open but still indoors, and it was adjoining the brewery. That's a hard word for me. I feel like it is for everyone, but especially if you've had any sort of history with speech impediment. Brewery. Also, like, those words are hard for non-English speakers a lot of the time, you know? Like, I think a French person may have a hard time with brewery, but correct me if I'm wrong. It's kind of one of those squirrel words. I don't know why I said squirrel, like, just like the word squirrel. I'm Joey from France, putting things in quotation marks that don't need to be. I'm sorry. There was a little market as well, and they were selling succulents and candles, sauces, you know, jarred and canned little goods, donuts, cookies, and jewelry. So I stopped at the jewelry table and I got these earrings. They came in all kinds of different colors, but they had a good deal. Like, each item you bought, if you bought one item, it was at a certain price. Anything on the table was $25, and then you could get 2 things for $35 or 3 things for $45. So if you liked multiple things, it was a better value, if that makes sense, than just buying one thing. And I did like so many things that I saw, so it worked in my favor. Not that you should spend more if you only like one thing, you know. It's like you're not really saving money, you're spending more. That's why they do that promotion, but for me it worked perfectly. So these earrings are like a ceramic or a clay. They're ever so slightly speckled in a really hot pink. And then I got the same earrings in a robin's egg blue, robin shell, eggshell, Tiffany, robin's egg. We're just gonna go with that. Robin's egg blue, a baby blue, a powder blue. Just because I felt like it was very different from the pink. And then this. And then they had a lot of nice lucite rings. I'll go ahead and show you this. But the earrings made me think of one of my best friends, the one who lives in Brooklyn, the one whose key I have on my key ring. And I thought she likes really big, funky earrings. So these are probably too small in diameter, but they're almost fun enough. You know, they almost make up for their size in their color, and just that they're an interesting material, a unique material. So I took a chance. I thought maybe she'd like one color and I can keep the other. So let me show you this. Nice and easy, simple. So yeah, I picked those up. It was a really nice time. And then we went and we saw Shang-Chi at the movie theater. I was gonna say specifically where, but probably not advisable. So we went and we saw Shang-Chi, and I really liked it. I was so happy with my popcorn and my candy, and they had actually bought a vegan M&M cookie at the fair, you know, and so they had that. We sneaked that into the theater in my purse. Shh, don't tell anyone. And I had some sour candy also, but I did stick to water because they'd had a beer at the brewery. I'd had a horchata boba, so we were all sugared out with our drinks. So we had water and popcorn, and I had my candy, and they had their cookie. So we were all nicely set up, and I was so excited to see Shang-Chi. They were too. And I thought it was great. I loved the first act in particular, and I loved the main characters, the leads. But my date did not like the movie so much. I mean, they liked it, they enjoyed it, they thought it was fun, but thought it didn't take itself seriously enough, if that makes sense. They're big fans of the comics. They've read all the Shang-Chi comics, so they knew all the different ways the story could have gone, and were a little disappointed, felt it was geared more toward a younger audience and a bit of a caricature. So I don't know enough to respond to that critique, but I got what they were saying when they pointed certain things out, especially in the third act of the movie. But I loved the choreography. The fight choreography was gorgeous, especially how certain characters used the wind. I thought was gorgeous, stunning. I loved it so much, and I appreciate the things with which they took issue, but we both agreed it was nonetheless a super fun, well edited, well put together movie. So that was a really nice night all around. So many fun things back to back. And then, what else? Yesterday I went up the coast a little ways, about 3 hours, to Morro Bay, and did a bunch of photo shoots with one of my really good friends. She takes a lot of boudoir photos for me, and we just had an amazing time. So we did our first set up at the bay, and then we worked our way back down the coast, down the California coastline, back to Los Angeles, stopping at a few places along the way, including a lake, for additional sets. And she actually let me take her photo for one set, and that was really special. You know, she does so much for people behind the camera. She's made me feel really beautiful and really safe in our collaborations with each other. So it was really special to be able to turn things around and get some coverage of her for her to edit, because she's the master of editing. I could never come close. It would take me the rest of my life to learn what she already knows. But it was amazing, but it was super gratifying because she actually showed me some things. It was a little bit of a lesson as well, you know. I was really just there to point and click, but she gave me some pointers so that she could get what she wanted, and I learned a lot, even in a short span, just because she's so good at what she does. So she has a lot of wisdom to impart, both technically and just in terms of her artistic sensibilities, her overall vision in terms of energy, composition, color. So that was really fun. And then for the last set of the day, we went to a lake, and we got there right when they were closing the campgrounds for the night, like everyone was in for the night. The sun was setting, so we raced in and we ran down to the water, and she was barefoot, and it was really rocky. Like, the rocks were like little daggers. I experienced it too at one point when I took my shoes off for the photos. It was a really rocky beach, so we were really committed to getting these photos, and she was going above and beyond, running down to the shore on all these rocks, like we were, you know, like we were scrambling down the big boulders and then down on the rocky beach. And then I got in and we took some photos with the moon in the sky and the golden light of the setting sun. And then it was blue hour, just those last few minutes after the sun has gone below the horizon. You can still get some shots without a flash with the natural light, just because there's still some daylight for a few minutes after the sun has set. So for those photos, I got into the water and let the kind of tide of this lake wash up onto my dress, and the water was really warm. The air outside was really cold. It was windy on this lake, but the water was still very warm from this hot day. So it was really nice. It was a nice experience. And then we had to scramble back up, you know, drenched, you know, completely drenched, and get into the car and make our way off the campgrounds really quickly. So it was definitely a little adventure. We just did that. That was our whole day, just driving around California, taking pictures, playing music in the car, talking, getting to know each other better. It was really nice. So I got my nails done for these photo shoots. Just a nice rent to go with all my different get-ups in the different locations. But we didn't get everything we wanted. There's a suit I really wanted to be photographed wearing. It's bright pink, like a fuchsia blazer, and matching pants, and I had the pants tailored for this shoot. I just think it's super photographic. So we actually made plans to meet up again tomorrow, and we rented a hotel room in a really beautiful old hotel here in Los Angeles. So we're gonna take more photos tomorrow, and maybe I'll down the line let you know how that went once it's over with. But we get to spend another afternoon together taking photos as late into the night as we want all around this hotel. I called ahead and made sure that that would be okay, that we were allowed to be in the public spaces as long as we were masked as much as possible and away from other people, socially distanced. I'm hoping she lets me take her picture again, because again it was such a good learning moment for me. I learned a lot from doing that for her, but also it's just really gratifying. I of course want her to have nice pictures of herself from these long, fun, adventure-filled days outdoors in beautiful places. You know, it would be a shame if she were to go that way and not get photos. I know it's her passion, taking photos of other people, but she's really beautiful, and she also deserves to be immortalized, you know, in that special way she's able to do. Like, if you have anyone in your life who's really good at taking photos, I hope you can work it out between you that they can take some nice pictures of you, because life is short and you deserve nice pictures of yourself, especially if you can make some nice memories with that person while you're having them taken. But yes, my nails, I think I already told you, it's hard to keep track. So the last thing that was fun from my week, I did the Pocky One Chip Challenge, and it was difficult. I eventually gave in pretty quickly, actually. I did it with my best friend, and we both were chugging almond milk and ripping off pieces of French bread, desperately trying to sop up the hot oils on our tongues and wash it all down with almond milk. So, you know, that kind of desperation that sets in when something is really, really hot. It's painful. People who tell you it's overhyped, I guess they're pretty impervious to spice, or difficult to impress with, you know, an outrageous number of Scovilles. But guys, it was painful. I felt it not so much in my mouth and my throat as in my ears. It was excruciating pain in my eustachian tubes, maybe because I'd been sick recently, but it just felt like fire in my ears, fire in the sides of my neck. But yeah, my mouth, I barely felt anything, and still just that feeling here. It was such a blaze, and you know, it builds after you eat it. So I was getting a little panicky at one point, and then we got through it, and then that was about it, except 1 hour later I had this sudden onset of terrible stomach cramps. I thought I was going to throw up. I thought maybe it was so bad, worse pain than I've ever felt accidentally consuming bouillon, which is pretty painful for a vegan, you know. Unexpected beef products especially can be very painful, or if you have a hard time with dairy can be really inflammatory, really painful. But yeah, it was excruciating, and I have an iron stomach, so I'm not used to such intense stomach pain. It was like crippling abdominal cramps for about 20 minutes. It came in waves. I barely could handle it. And then it went away, finally. I didn't have any gastrointestinal distress. You know, I thought it was a harbinger of like a terrible night to come in terms of throwing up or having to go to the bathroom and having a really hard time with that. But actually that was the last of it for me. I didn't have any gastrointestinal distress of any kind. It was like, it just felt like it was eating through my stomach lining for a little while, like the way I imagine ulcers feel, because ulcers are known for being extremely, extremely painful. So yeah, we were really proud of ourselves. We both got through it, but we definitely didn't pass by any standard. Like, we didn't last 5 or 10 minutes or 30 minutes without reaching for almond milk or water, which you're supposed to try to do, but there was no way in hell it wasn't gonna happen. So we feel very accomplished that we took the challenge on, and that we completed it. That was just last night. Oh, so my Morro Bay trip was actually the day before yesterday. I've been kind of out of it since I got back because it was a whole road trip, a whole day, so I've been pretty tired since then. Sorry, I'm really losing my voice now. Hold on. So yeah, that's been my past week. Really just the last few days. Specifically, before that I was still convalescing and tutoring, doing some cleaning around my apartment, playing catch up from being sick. So I didn't rush right into being super busy, but I jumped in with both feet as soon as I could. And yeah, I just feel very spoiled this week in particular. It's been a definite high point after some pretty low lows. Not just being sick, that wasn't so bad, but I just mean over the course of the last year and a half. You know, I haven't done a photo shoot out in nature like that since before COVID, so it just feels like some things are coming back in life. It just feels like a really promising time. Of course, it continues to be a really hard time for a lot of people, so if you're one of those people, I hope this isn't upsetting to hear about all these things, to hear about these things I'm up to. I can relate to that feeling. I have some people with whom I'm close in Australia, and there were various points in the last year and a half when life looked and felt a little more normal for them, and if anything, it gave me hope, you know, that life continues on, and someday some things would return to me in my life. Not everything. Some things have changed forever. That's a whole other video topic, but today I'm focusing on the positives in particular, so I hope it's not too distressing for you to hear about these things. I hope it can give you a similar kind of hope to what I've felt when I've seen at a distance, seen from afar, as other people got to get back into normal life rhythms. You know, it's stop and start, of course. My friends in Australia have had to go back into lockdown more recently, so and that's the way it's been here as well. There have been vicissitudes. Okay, well anyway, but yeah, it's just a happy moment right now. Who knows how long it'll last, but I'm feeling very lucky, very spoiled. Also, it's just been a really nice time on this channel lately. I've been feeling especially connected to so many of you, and really enjoying getting to know all of you better. And I'm finding it a lot easier to film and put videos out these days, as I've discussed in some recent videos. That continues to be a happy thing, of course. It's been a busy few days, and then when I was sick I slowed down a little bit, but I do have now 4 videos filmed once I finish this one, and lots of ideas for upcoming ones. Also, Grace V commented on one of my videos a while back. Oh my goodness. I had two people in the house, in the apartment. They were filming scenes for a short, and I was just staying in here trying to be quiet while they filmed. And one of them knows about my channel. It's kind of hush-hush in my life for now, but one of them knows about it. And when they were on a break, I went out and shared. I was like, Grace V just commented, and I showed them the comment. And this person in particular has heard me. Sorry, my voice really went out. Has heard me talk about Grace's channel. I've shown them her videos and been like, this is the sort of thing that I really like. This is the sort of thing to which I aspire. So they understood, even though they themselves don't watch ASMR, they understood what a big deal it was for me. I just find Grace to be such a genuine, kind, special person. So yeah, that was a big deal for me. You know, kind comments always mean so much to me, but lately I've been getting some comments from other ASMR artists whose content I really enjoy. Maddie ASMR comes to mind, but really it's been a bunch of creators who've made me feel even more excited about what I'm doing, even more excited about what I'm doing here and about this community. So you know them, you love them, and I do too. You know, I'm not just an ASMR artist, I am a lifelong ASMR fan. You know, at least since I realized it was a thing, if you know what I mean. We all have that epiphanous moment as ASMR experiencers. Oh my goodness, I am really pushing it with the battery. This is the 4th time that I've charged my phone just enough to try to finish this video and had it die in the middle, had it die on me mid-sentence, not saving anything I said. And originally I'd poured my heart out. I was like on this little side ramble about this community, and it quit on me, it died on me. So I've tried several times to recapture that magic, but each time it's gotten less and less articulate as I'm more and more frustrated and scrambled. But I think I was just saying that it's been a really lucky thing that the fellow ASMR artists who find my channel and like it enough to stick around and comment anytime I go to check out their channel, I always end up subscribing because their content is always lovely. This has happened like 10 times now, you know, when I haven't already known about a channel, about an ASMR artist. Like, I already was a subscriber of Gracev and Maddie, but anytime I've found a new ASMR artist through my own comment section, yeah, I've always ended up subscribing because their content has always been amazing. I've just been lucky that the ASMR artists that like my channel also are putting out wonderful content themselves, so I can't think of them all offhand. And my voice is definitely dead, but I'm going to link however many I can find right now below, and I'll circle back and make sure to add some channels as I remember, or maybe I'll just look through my subscriptions, the people who comment in general, whether you make ASMR as well or you're just here as a viewer. I've said it before, I'll say it again. I'm so lucky in this community. Everyone is so kind here. Thank you again, Katie, for the delicious suggestion. I obviously couldn't get enough. So thank you. My phone is going to give up the ghost any second now. So thank you all so much for watching and listening. I'm so sorry my voice is almost completely gone, like a guttering candle. Oh, one more thing. I'm gonna go now and rest my voice and enjoy this vegan rice crispy treat that I got today. Well, actually someone got it for me from a different vegan street fair that was today. I'm living a charmed life this week, let me tell you. It smells amazing. So good. So thank you all so much for watching and listening. I hope you get lots and lots of good REM sleep, and as always, I hope all your dreams are sweet. Okay, thank you all. Bye. So some other nice things that happened. So some